Hey, good morning everybody, welcome back to my shop. I got a little project here. I got a bench grinder off of Craigslist. I don't know, made in Taiwan, half horse. Seems to be pretty decent. I want to stand for it because my grinder shelf here is a little bit full. So I have an old engine block and I'm gonna take you guys along and show you how to make this stand. So I'm going to put you on time lapse and we're going to tear an engine apart. Alright guys, got this thing all torn down, kind of cleaned up. It's actually pretty clean. I'm pretty happy. This is, if anybody is wondering, a General Motors Iron Duke engine. It's actually bored out to 3 liters instead of 2.5 liters by Mercruiser for boats. So this is a Mercruiser 3 liter 140 horsepower boat engine block that was completely seized up, so I decided to give it new life, and we'll see if we can mount a grinder on it. Now this is obviously not tall enough to mount a grinder on it, so we're gonna maybe cut this down a little because this is a little taller than I really need, but we're gonna somehow mount the crankshaft out of it on top. Maybe weld a plate to the crankshaft and bolt it to the engine block or something like that, because this block is cast iron and I don't want to try and weld to the block, although I think I could weld to the crank. I'm pretty sure that's some kind of steel, not cast iron. So here goes. Let's see what we can come up with. Almost fits. Just needs a little cleanup work inside. All right. See if that fits. Oh, so close. So close. There we are. It fits. So the deal is, this thing spins. I don't know if that's cool or not, but it spins. Sorry about the air compressor noise in the background. Not much I can do about that, because I kind of need that turned on. So anyway, it's going to want to kind of tip that way a little bit, but in theory, when I put the weight of the grinder over here on this end, it keeps it from doing that. And maybe someday I'll bolt it down or something, and then I'll have a spinning grinder stand that spins on the main bearings of this old engine block. Should be pretty cool. Now I need to decide if I want to bolt this to the crankshaft or weld it. Not sure. I need to think that up. Maybe I'll bolt it if I can find a fine thread bolt. Or I can take it apart if I ever want to. Alright, so I got a little problem here. These holes are fine thread of some sort, and I don't really have any fine thread bolts that fit them, except for this brake caliper banjo bolt, which really isn't exactly made for this, so I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to drill them and tap them bigger. To half 13, because I have bolts for that. And it spins, by the way. There we go. Wasn't too bad. All right, here we go. Stuff doesn't tap too bad. Of course, I do have a good tap. Yeah, it tapped pretty easy. I only need to tap 4 of these holes. I drilled all 6 just for the fun of it. But I only need to tap 4 of them. This tap is what they call a spiral cut tap, which has spirals on it that look like, focus, like that. So it evacuates the chips really well. You don't have to back it up a whole bunch like a normal tap. So, yeah, that's that. I'm gonna tap these other 2 holes, and then we'll be hopefully ready to go. Alright, there we are. Now I can bolt that down with normal bolts that I actually have sitting around here. Cool stuff. This is obviously way too long, but it's right in there. That's a little bit warm there. Alright, let's get the next one ready to go. Hopefully these somewhat line up with the holes that I want them to line up with. I don't know, we're going to have to see how I did with that, I guess. What? Come on. Alright, I'm going to try this and see if these two hold. Alright, so I finished drilling the holes and bolted it down off camera because it was going to be super boring because my holes were all in the wrong places and I had to like waller them out way big to make everything fit. So now I have this piece of metal here that came with the grinder. It was bolted on the bottom. And now I'm going to, I guess, bolt this down like out here. Something like this. And then bolt my grinder to it. Right there's my other center punch mark. And yeah, we drill it. There we go. Okay. There's that. Set this guy on there. And somewhere here are the bolts that it came with. Here. Get them underneath there. Like that. Find myself a socket like that one. tighten this guy down. Alright guys, got this thing bolted on here. Turns, I'm not sure what I think of that. I may lock that. Nonetheless, it's a little tipsy. So I have a piece of angle iron over here that I'm drilling, and I'm going to bolt that on with the main crank bolts, or the bearing cap bolts right here. Alright, well, it spins. It no longer falls over. I mean, it falls over if you pull on it. I may have to put a little more bracing, but I think if I kind of keep it this way, use it like this direction, should be alright. Maybe I'll take the grinder off and turn it around. I don't know. But I think that's pretty much finished. Except I need to get shorter bolts down here so I don't have to use the bearing cap to take up the extra length. Alright guys, so I decided I didn't like it just spinning around however it felt like. So I got this bolt in here. It's in like a pipe that the end of the crankshaft slides into. I can loosen the bolt and then the whole thing can turn. And then I tighten the bolt up again and that locks it. And that's bolted on with one of the bearing caps, which I had to put over top because the bolts are too long to just put through the 3/8 plate. So that's how I locked it. All right. Seems to work pretty good. You can't really move around too much. Yeah. There it is. She's done. Thanks for watching.